Hi, it's Leela. I want to tell you about the simple tricks that I have learned to have more sexual pleasure. So I used to take me forever to orgasm, and frankly, part of it's just appreciate that middle age brings some benefits to women. The hitting your mid 30s or for some people 40s, you just have more of a sex drive, and that's great. But there are some things that we are taught as women and girls that do not work very well for achieving pleasure. So this book is amazing, Urban Tantra by Barbara Carrellas. It's got a lot of just really helpful things in it. And there are lots of other books, but that's my favorite. Rule number one is that we put a lot of brakes on in our head when it comes to sex and sexuality. And usually that is self-consciousness. It is stopping ourselves from fully receiving and feeling in our bodies. So one thing that Urban Tantra and kind of some other sources will tell you is relax and learn to give and then receive. So when you're receiving pleasure, feel accept it, feel comfortable with that. Know that it's something you deserve, something that is good for you, and give feedback to your partner, but breathe and enjoy and practice enjoying it. The other thing is that we put a lot of brakes on. We come up with a lot of no's to what's going on. It's important to give feedback, but it's also important to just take in what's happening and accept and enjoy. Another thing that I have learned through various teachings and classes is that we are taught to clench and hold to have an orgasm. That does work for a small orgasm, but for some orgasms, and sometimes it can be good. But there's another way that you can go through it, which is to take deep breaths and to relax and open up instead of clenching, and that can lead to a whole different kind of experience and kind of a bigger kind of pleasure. At least, and these are all rules of thumb that have worked for me, but don't necessarily work for everybody. Learning to appreciate giving is really important, and learning to take feedback with a thank you for telling me is also very important, because the more comfortable you are receiving feedback, the more comfortable you'll be giving feedback in a supportive way. And then also just realizing that this is all practice. It is not easy. We are not our perfect selves every time we show up to a situation. But the more you just embrace your authenticity and your true self and are honest with yourself about what you want and what feels good and what doesn't feel good, and leaning into those things that feel good and speaking up about those things that don't feel good, the more practice you have really being comfortable doing that, the more likely you're going to be able to advocate for yourself and actually get what makes you feel good. So just practice. Keep ask what, and practice isn't always in the bedroom. Practice can be things like asking if you can touch someone's hair, or touching your own hair, touching your own body, feeling what's good for your body. Knowledge is power. And then the final thing I want to tell you about is this thing that Barbara Carrellas calls the resilient edge of resistance. And that is doing touch and physical connection at the place where it feels a bit intense, but not so intense that you want it to stop. A kind of level of intensity where you want it to keep on going. And then just varying in that level of intensity. So there's a very similar concept in the work world that is the level of productive stress. But it is that place where there's no panic, there's no feeling particularly overwhelmed, but there is a sense of pushing yourself. There's a sense of going a little bit beyond what's comfortable, but not so far beyond that it's hard. Anyway, hope that helps. There is so much to explore when it comes to really leaning into sexuality and sexual pleasure, and I hope you all have a lot of fun trying it out. So thank you very much, and have a great day.